My name is Doug Kopp. I'm the rescue chief of the American Rescue Team International, the most experienced rescue team in the world. I've worked at more than 100 major disasters of all kinds around the world, including stopping a bubonic plague outbreak in India that the Department of Health said that a minimum of 250,000 to 500,000 people would die. Well, we stopped it entirely. Okay, I designed a plan that stopped it so nobody died. Having said that, this is the second virus video we're making. The first virus video explained how this whole pandemic will end in a month. And it's so easy to do. All you need to do is wear a mask. Everybody wears a mask, then the virus can't spread, you can't get it, and you can't give it to anybody. It'll just die. The virus will go away because the virus cannot live unless it's inside of a human being. And if you just stop it from giving it to anybody or getting it, it will just die on its own. Now, this is the second virus video. The second virus video, I want to actually do a follow-up to the first and tell you some more high-tech information. Now, since I made the first video, the mayor of Boston has come out and made it a very serious law that everyone in public must wear a mask. And in fact, he made the comment, he said, if you don't like wearing a mask, tough, too bad, wear a mask. The governor of New York yesterday, he went on at great lengths telling everybody in public wear a mask. He went on to say, if you millennials don't like wearing masks because it doesn't look right or it doesn't look good, too bad. Too bad. Wear a mask. It's socially responsible, okay? Because the disease will just spread and spread and spread and spread, and this thing will never stop if people don't start every single person wearing a mask in public. Now, in this video, I'd like to make a comment about technology. I saw on TV a couple of days ago in the research department of the University of McGill had a robot. And this robot was funny in a very stupid way because it was about 6 feet tall. It took somebody to control it, and it was patrolling around inside of an operating room, and it had 3-foot-long tubes emitting ultraviolet light. And this cost was being sold for $140,000 to sterilize hospitals. This is the stupidest thing I ever saw. Now, why, Doug? Well, yes, ultraviolet kills virus, but it only kills virus when it comes in direct contact with it, okay? What you need to do is you need to use Nikola Tesla, one of the most brilliant men who ever lived in history, okay? He had a patent for a device that was used to sterilize hospitals 100 years ago. And what it does is it uses high voltage electricity, 10,000, 100,000, 200,000 volts, and it has a gap between it, between the two terminals. And when it jumps across those terminals, it rips the air molecules apart. And what it does is it creates unstable oxygen molecules. Those unstable oxygen molecules don't have any negative effect on people. But, and that's because the cell wall of human cells have peroxide as one of the defenses for each and every cell in our body. And that peroxide, when it comes in contact with unstable oxygen molecules, what it does is it turns into peroxidase and it becomes stable again. Now, when it comes in contact with a virus does not have peroxide in its cell wall to protect it. So in order for that molecule, unstable oxygen molecule, to stabilize, it smashes through the cell wall of the virus to neutralize itself with the mass inside, the nucleus inside. So what happens is no cell can survive if its cell wall is destroyed. So it literally destroys the virus. Now, the good thing about it is that it's a gas. And that means in an operating room, and it doesn't, operating rooms are so dirty and so unsterile. Now, even the autoclave is the machine that they put scalpels in, surgical instruments. Now, and it uses high temperature in order to kill virus and bacteria. But the back of the autoclave and all the other equipment that's in the operating room give off heat. The electronics does. So they have ventilating panels, and they have fans inside. And what happens is the virus and the bacteria get inside of those compartments, and with this nonsense machine using ultraviolet light, it can't get inside of those areas, so it doesn't kill the virus or bacteria at all, just on the surface. That's all it does. Whereas using a gas, it goes in through the ventilating system, it kills all the virus and bacteria inside. Now I have a device that kills virus that I can wear on my arm. I have another one over there that I put in a regular air purification machine, which a filter, and all I did was put the electronics in it. Now, I use ultraviolet light. I also use negative ions, and I invented a device that puts out 100 times as many negative ions as with the same amount of power. It's an array distribution system that I designed. And also I give off unstable oxygen molecules. And I do 2 other things as well. Sterilizes my house. Nobody in this house has had a cold or flu in 2 years. Now, what it does is it removes all the toxins in my house. It kills all the bacteria. It kills all the virus. Makes the house completely safe. Now, I have one in my vehicle. I have one here that comes on 4 or 5 times a day for 5 minutes each time. I have another one that I have inside of a vacuum cleaner. So anybody coming in the house or bringing in groceries, I sterilize them when I bring them in. So the air comes in, I do all this processing with the air, and then I blow out a gas that kills virus on contact. So, and I have another machine that I have on my boat, which I use for killing fungus and termites on my boat. Same basic principles. So I've used this technology in many different ways. Now, how did I get to know this? Well, I worked at Aeronautics and Aerospace Research Institute in a think tank in Germany when I was 19. And I worked on a design and construct electronic trigger for a laser satellite. So I have 44 inventions, a lot of them studied by research institutes and all that kind of stuff. And I've used them at disasters all over the world. So, what I'd like to do is I would like somebody in the hospitals to just wake up a little bit, read about Nikola Tesla, and just think a little bit, because this is such an enormous waste of money and so damn stupid to have this $140,000 robot, 6 feet tall, walking around with light bulbs on it. It blows my mind. It's so stupid. Now, I'll give them a machine. If they want to test it, I'll give them a machine that'll cost me less than $50, and it'll sterilize that hospital operating room. They can go over it with a fine-tooth comb and swabs inside of every square inch of that thing. It'll be completely sterilized. I'll give it to them. And I won't even charge them for a patent or anything else. I'll just give it to them. Not a problem. So, what do we have to do now? In Canada and the rest of the world, countries like Czechoslovakia, some Asian countries that are actually getting rid of the virus, they're all wearing masks. Everybody wear a mask. So if you want to know what's going on, for the last 2 months at dougkopp.me, I've been doing posts of what's going to happen next and what people in the governments are going to do next. So everything that's going on now about reopening, I wrote about that 2 months ago. And this is what's going to happen. There's going to be pressure to reopen. They're going to reopen. Then what's going to happen is there's going to be another gigantic wave of the virus going. The hospitals are going to be filled to capacity, overflowing again. There's going to be dead bodies that need to be burned. And you got to stop, like in New York City, they got them renting U-Hauls, filling up with corpses, and renting tractor trailers and filling them up. You got to understand, these things now are like incubators for the virus. They're like virus bombs, okay? You got to burn them. Put them in a huge pit and burn them all, okay? So there's going to be a huge wave, an increase of death. Then they'll send everybody back into doing distancing again and all this kind of stuff. And then they'll be pressured to open again. And then they'll open again, and then there'll be another big wave of people dead. And this is going to go on and on and on and on until the governments make everybody wear a mask and get rid of this damn thing. I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? And every time I go out and I see these stupid people walking around without a mask, it's like blows my mind. I mean, how stupid can you be in the middle of a pandemic with a virus being spread around everywhere and all these jackasses are out spreading it? I don't even think I'm like people anymore. I just think I'm the spreaders. You know, and that's exactly what they are. So wake up and goddamn it, government, freaking make that your job and your responsibility to take care of the health of people. So goddamn it, make it a law. Everybody wears a mask and stop this damn thing before the entire economy collapses for no reason other than incompetence and stupidity with the Department of Health and government officials who don't have the smarts, the intelligence, the backbone to freaking make masks mandatory. Okay? That's it.